This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
Let me talk about Ryan Fitzpatrick and the Miami Dolphins and Tua, because I thought it was really, 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 really cool. And listen, I can't tell you how wrong I've been about Ryan Fitzpatrick. I think we've had this conversation many times over, because, hey, I'll tell you when I'm right, but I'm going to tell you every time I'm wrong too, man. Okay? Because it's going to happen a lot. I'm a human being. And when they acquired Fitz, I was like, bridge guy, big deal, nothing. He has a ton of turnovers in his career or whatever. And I didn't really look into the leadership part. I didn't really look into his connection with his teammates and things like that. And you learn different things when people are in your team, in your town, and you get to see them every day. I have a little saying that I've done it over the years, that you can watch your manager every day, and you might complain about this manager does this or that, right? But that's because you watch that one manager every day. If you watched every manager in baseball and you were a fan of whatever, dude, Yankees, Cubs, Marlins, Cardinals, you name it, doesn't matter. You watch the manager every day, you would disagree with every manager in baseball. At one point, now, there might be some that you'll disagree a lot more than others. But what I'm saying is, if you watched every manager every day, you're going to disagree. You know what I mean? And so you get to watch people, you get to learn about them. And I learned a lot about Fitz last year. I learned about the leadership, the connection, how people do respond to him. I know what he is as a player, okay? And that was my problem. Okay, that's my biggest problem, and you have to address your problems in life in order to overcome them, right? And so my problem was that I just looked at him, and I looked at his stats, and I looked at that he's really not a winner, and he's not a guy that's going to be leading you into the playoffs or a difference maker or anything like that. But he is a difference maker in another way, and he actually is important. And so he's important in so many ways right now to the Dolphins, believe it or not. It's not because they're counting on Ryan Fitzpatrick to make them a winning team. It's not because they're counting on Ryan Fitzpatrick to take them into a deep playoff run or a Super Bowl run. It's not because they look at Ryan Fitzpatrick as the future, but it's because right now, what Chris Grier and what Brian Flores are doing are establishing cultures, establishing a way of doing things. And that's why Chris Grier hired Flores, because he felt Flores would bring a certain level of discipline and consistency, and he's done that. And that's why when by the way, while I'm a Grier guy and he signed Fitz, I didn't really think much of it. But yet, Grier's job is to look at the big picture of things. And he knew what Ryan could do outside of the stats. Because idiots like me were just looking at the stats and just saying, and I'm the one that tells you stats don't tell you the whole story. I tell you that all the time. And stats don't tell you the whole story about this guy. And you saw what he did last year. He brought the team together. How he didn't start off well, and then they threw Rosen in there, and Rosen didn't play well, and then they went back to him, and obviously the team took off after that. I know taking off is not what we're normally in hoping taking off means down the line, but what I mean is from nothing to actually something, and they ended 5-4. So it was the right move by Flores. It was the right move by Grier, okay? And Ryan Fitzpatrick made all the right moves as a player, as a veteran, as a leader. He didn't bitch and complain that he got benched and that they put Rosen in. Hey, he tried his best. He didn't play well. They put Rosen in. He didn't complain about it. He didn't create any problems. Rosen struggled. They put him back in. He stayed ready like a real pro, and then the rest is history. And so now in comes Tua. So Tua's the guy that has to now prove himself. Tua's the guy that has to now learn. Tua is the future. That's the guy we're counting on to have deep playoff runs. That's the guy we're hoping, holds a trophy up over his head. That's a Super Bowl trophy, by the way. That's what we're all hoping, right? So now Ryan Fitzpatrick's job, and he knew it last year with Rosen, it's the same thing with Tua. And so one of the things that he's got to do is teach Tua, right? And Ryan has a great attitude about teaching Tua. Let's talk. Let's play that soundbite off of Eric Wood's podcast.
Well, I think part of it is they have to take a back seat and have to watch. They have to watch how I operate. Not to say that what I do is perfect, but there are going to be a lot of things that they can pull from me that they like, and there's going to be some things they can pull from me that they don't like and say, I don't want that. But I think I have enough qualities that Miami has seen that they like, and they would like another quarterback to have in them. The other thing in bringing a new guy in that I always try to impress right away on these guys is, like, I am here. Again, zero ego. Like, I have so much knowledge. I've made so many mistakes in this league in terms of dumb decisions and throws, and I've learned how to prepare. I've learned so much about offenses and defenses and the way that guys operate. Ask questions. Like, I'm an open book. Ask me whatever you want. And so sometimes it's up to the younger guy to – courage might not be the right word, but have the courage to come up and ask questions and to not feel like he's a bother or a pain in the butt. And I just try to be open and honest with everything that they want to talk to me about, because I talk to my wife about this all the time. When I'm done playing football, like, if I exit that world and don't either do what you're doing or transition into another role around football, I have so much knowledge in my mind that I've built up that, like, then just goes to waste, So I want to pass on all these experiences and lessons and things that I've learned to younger guys, because when I came in, I had the same thing. I had guys that taught and showed me the way. So
that is Ryan Fitzpatrick. Excellent. I mean, there's so much to go into there. And the one thing is, he's got a great student in Tua there. Because when I led you into this soundbite, I talked to you about how professional Fitz has been from the get-go and how he handled everything from his struggles in the first couple weeks to Rosen taking over, staying ready, and then when Rosen was – not ready for this, they went back to Fitz because they were trying to win a game, regardless of what some think, and he showed that kind of leadership. And by the way, to Rosen's credit, he has not been a whiner or a complainer either. Okay, now, Rosen is not ready. That's the way it is. So now, Fitz knows that he has to teach Rosen and Tua. And Tua, again, just is a phenomenal young man. And he's going to wait his turn like he did with Jalen Hurts. And when he's ready, Flores will play him. Okay? It's pretty simple. It's really not that difficult. And I love Fitz's attitude. And and Fitz is right that the other person needs to have the right attitude. I got no problem with Tua on that one. You got no problem with Tua on that. We all know Tua is just a phenomenal young man. So he'll learn, and he'll get ready. And what Fitz was talking about, how he's made all the mistakes. You have no idea how that is priceless. It's really maybe more priceless than the guy that is great from the get-go and rarely makes mistakes and can't talk to you about a lot of failure. Because he doesn't fail. She doesn't fail. They're dominant players. It's like Michael Jordan can't tell you a lot about failure. Magic Johnson can't talk to you too much about failure. You know what I mean? Because they have excelled in their pro careers. They were just amazing. LeBron, had his share of failures, actually, in his first part of his career. So he can share about that. But LeBron really doesn't know about failure as a player. He had failure as a team. Fitzpatrick has failure as a player. That's something that all those other guys, they can't comprehend. And maybe that's why great players have a problem being great coaches, because they don't know what it's like to be human. Bo Jackson doesn't know human. Just doesn't. It's just one of those things. The guy was a monster at everything he did.
When you're able to run up a wall, you're not human.
I mean, Magic Johnson doesn't fail as a businessman, pretty much. Okay? Forget about individually as a player. So Fitz, his failures as a quarterback, his mistakes, those things are so teachable because he has made all those mistakes. He can tell you how he got fooled by this defense and that defense and this kind of coverage and the mistake he made here and how, throwing in this angle or that angle or whatever it is, or learn to throw the ball away. And if it's not there, let it go. The only thing is, he also said there are some things maybe they don't want to learn from. Well, Tua, you see Fitz running around like a maniac? I don't want you to learn about that one. Okay. That is one I don't want from Tua. All right. All that crazy-ass running that Fitz did last year and took on hitters, okay, because there were times where he knew he was going to get hit, and he just threw his body right in there. I don't want Tua to do that, okay? So I'm hoping that the QB coach and the offensive coordinator are going, you see this? Tua, no, don't do this. You see that linebacker? No, slide. No, don't forget about what Fitz did. Yes, he got an extra 4 yards. I get it. But he sold out his body. We don't want you to sell out your body. Run out of bounds. There's a reason why we picked on Ted Ginn forever. He runs out of bounds. Let me explain something to you. He's in his mid-30s, still playing football in the NFL, still running like the wind. Why? Because he ran out of bounds. What we used to make fun of him probably extended his career. Ask Jimmy Garoppolo that he should have run out of bounds. Instead, he took on a tackler and he screwed up his team. Okay? So the failures of Ryan Fitzpatrick are priceless. And now Tua and Rosen get to learn from a guy that's made every mistake in the book. I think that's awesome. I really do. And then you listen to Ryan Fitzpatrick on the Eric Wood podcast, and Ryan has the perfect attitude on this whole, passing the torch type thing because Tua is the future.
I'm really excited. I'm excited that they drafted him. I'm excited because in watching him play at Alabama, he looks like he's a pretty dynamic talent. Just in meeting him a few times, he seems like an unbelievable kid, great head on his shoulders, says the right things, wants to do the right things. So, for me, I'm his biggest cheerleader right now, but I also want to be out there playing. I also want to be on the field, and that's kind of why I'm still doing it, because I still enjoy playing the game. So hopefully some of the lessons I'm able to teach him are him watching me play. But if it's the other way around, I'm going to do my best to help him succeed in the best way that he can.
Yeah, that's an incredible mindset.
That is, that to me is, again, just the ultimate pro. The ultimate pro. That's how the ultimate pro handles it. He knows what he's there to do. He's more than happy, and like any competitor, he wants to play.